Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch and welcome back to my studio. Thank you for your support, for your beautiful comments on Amazon about my new book, How to Paint Watercolor Transparent Flowers. In this summertime we already painted cherries. As promised for today's class, I prepared a lesson about painting strawberries. So if you're a strawberry person, this lesson is for you. And for everyone else, of course. So let's start. Let's prepare a strawberry drawing. We paint strawberry shape looking on our model. Not so precise. Don't forget about greenery on the top. I'm pretty sure I will add more corrections during the painting process, but this helps to focus a little bit. And the cut one, a little bit of oval and greenery around, and I think this is it for now. I will use two colors. I will use Pyrrole orange. You can also use cadmium orange, transparent orange, some oranges you have, and I will use Meadowlake Deep for the dark red colors. I firstly glaze the area of the big one, and I add a little bit, a hint of orange color, and soften everything with damp brush. I have my paper towel next to me, so I can remove excess water onto the paper towel. The texture, the structure of strawberries, it has a lot of these spots, so when you apply your first layer, you can also already prepare a little bit the idea of this texture. And now, while the paper is still wet, I know it's pretty quick, so I would rather recommend you to watch the tutorial first and then try to repeat it. Because we paint in wet, just in small areas, and it sometimes a bit a bit quick. With the tip of the brush, I go along the edges, on the top, on the darker areas. I just check in what's the darker areas. I think it's a little bit too liquid, so I remove excess water with the paper towel. When I move my brush, I keep creating this structure of a strawberry with some tipping moves. I see where it's the darker area, I add more bold color into that area. Don't afraid to make it too dark. Watercolor tends to lighten a little bit after it dries. Leave a little bit of white light areas around, and you may notice that these spots, they are bigger on the top and they are smaller on the bottom, and the bottom is also more in the shade, so you can apply more bold brush strokes in this area. And I use just the tip of my brush, and I paint mostly with the tip of my brush to create this nice strawberry texture. Now I need bolder mix of my brush, and I just go with the same move with the tip of my brush on some areas to emphasize these ups and downs in the strawberry. fruits, most of the fruits, they have a bit of reflection from outside, from the surface. So it's nice to leave a little bit area around, more light, and add a bit more of a contrast with bold color. Just stepping a little bit aside from the edges of the strawberry. It's don't try to copy. We are not painting botanical illustration, we're painting something more loose, spontaneous. So you just need to bring the idea of the strawberry to make it juicy, bright, nice, glossy, something like this. I will let it dry before I add the greenery, just like this. And now I would like to paint this, the cut one. The cut one, you see, it's more light, of course, and it's more in the orange color. So I glaze the whole area of the strawberry with clean water. Grab relatively, I create relatively middle tone mix, not too bold, not too diluted. Remove excess water with a paper towel. Firstly, I will paint this middle part. I start with the tip of the brush, apply pressure, and then release the pressure. Maybe you can, actually I like how it is. Now we see these white outline surroundings of this area. So we step aside a little bit and start to create the inner, this inner juicy structure with our orange color. And I always clean and dry my brush to correct the strokes. For example, it's a little bit too bright here. I wash my brush, I remove water with a paper towel, and just go like this. You might need to work a little bit quicker because paper dries very, very fast. You can add a little bit of more of orange in this middle. Soften them a bit. And then I actually would like to let it dry. We will add a second layer later. Now I will paint the green part. I will use sub green. It's very bright green, but with a hint of burnt sienna. So you can better see how I'm mixing colors. Like this, more natural. I start to paint with the tip of the brush down. Tip of the brush, more pressure. Tip of the brush, pressure. Tip of the brush, more pressure, some waving move of your hand. If you are not able to repeat what you have you draw, that's fine. Drawing helps us to focus a bit. Sometimes we can see leaves not like these, just from the side, so it's more narrow. I like to start from the top and bring them to bottom, and that creates this shade actually all by itself. Now let's glaze. First check whether it is dry or not. If it is completely dry, just carefully glaze the whole area without big pressure on your brush. Just like this. And then I will use Meadow Lake Deep, pretty bold. With the tip of my brush, I will go along the edges just along the edges. And I will let my darker color go inside the strawberry and spread by itself. Something like this. You might like to correct a few things around, but how we do it? I wash my brush, I dry it with a paper towel, and with the tip of the brush I drag out the dark color following the direction of this strawberry structure. Very careful and try to clean your brush here and there so it will look more clean, the colors not over mixing with each other. Same with this side. Just a bit, you're just helping your watercolor move into the correct direction. It may happen that your watercolor is distributed by itself in a perfect way. That often happens, so no need maybe for you to correct. There is an interesting spot inside the strawberry. I would like to imitate it with my bold orange, and I just add a few drops of orange into the very middle. I also add a little bit of color to the very top where it will be connected with greenery. About this, looking at that, I would like to add a few more orange strokes, and it's important to stop at the right moment. I will take my green, already green one, and just with the tip of the brush, with a little bit wiggling move of your hand, wrist, you create the greenery with the tip of the brush, and sometimes a little bit of pressure. Don't press on the whole body of the brush, just a little bit. It's a bit more handy to do it from bottom to top. And then we just move this puddle back. This looks too symmetrical, so I will add one more leaf and I will make it small and short. And it's nice when colors, they mix a little bit like this. We can stop right here if you like it. We can stop just right here. But if you want to go a little bit further, more, we can add some details. I will use burnt sienna. Pretty dry, bold mix, and I will leave some super dry concrete spots, and I mostly will do them in these white areas because it will be not so nice contrast if I do it on the dark areas. You see, no need to do all and everything, a little bit, enough to bring the impression, to create the impression. And remember that the more we go to the bottom, the smaller these seeds, small little seeds, they are. You can paint them a little bit bold on the top, just about like this. It would be nice to add small shade with Meadow Lake Deep underneath this greenery thing. Just Meadow Lake Deep, we go underneath.
and add a little bit of shade, because this green part, it creates the shade. You can dry our brush with a paper towel, soften a little bit this area, maybe add one or few more just bold plain spots to add more glossy idea. And more, a little bit on the very bottom. Let's check what's with the cut piece. For the cut piece, I would like to add a little bit contrast to the greenery. I just top up my mix and make it rather bold. And with the tip of the brush, I cover with the bolder mix just half of the previous leaf to create the shades and create this flip binding idea. A little bit shading. I like it, and I think I would like to add a little bit of the same shading to our strawberry, to the big one. And now this is it.
Thank you so much for painting with me. It was very fun. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you have great summer mood, and just let me know in comments what would you like to paint next with me. Thank you for your support and see you next time. Bye bye.